It's ridiculous.
They look for
Good.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
All right, I'm calling meeting to order. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Collins. Blue.
Here.
Contos. Van.
Here.
Amstutz. Here. Buxton. Here. Everyone received the council minutes from October 6th. Any amendments? Hearing none, minutes stand as approved. Takes us to public speaks. Stephanie.
Oh, no.
Sue?
No, sir. You want that door shut?
Yes, if they're having a sidebar, please. Ms. Tolson? Oh, she's not. Kathy?
I just want to let you know that we did, Hope LLC did apply for the grant for more housing over at Hope. We applied for it. It was opened on September 1st. We have not heard back yet, but got our fingers crossed, and we had our annual fundraiser Saturday night to help us with the property taxes over there to move forward, the new housing. The grant is for, we don't have any details, but it will be for single-family homes, first-time home buyers. And there'll be qualifications you have to meet. It's a federal grant, government grant. That's all I have.
That's great. Alright. Anything else for public speaks? Sorry, I'm looking around. I had a lot of people sign in the first one. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Takes us to committee reports. Service.
Underwater, our pumps and hoses and tools that come in that we ordered. The sand was delivered, so we got sand back there, 304 crushed concrete, ready to go there. We did order the clamps. It's just a matter of time for them to come in, probably next week, I'd imagine. Received a quote for the propane tank at the tower. Moving forward with that, the generator has been placed over at the tower. Under buildings, we replaced the wood around the windows. It's all rotten away, so we replaced that around the service garage windows. Vehicles, I did go and get the title and the 45-day tag for the new police cruiser. So we have that on hand. Sign that. I know that we need to revisit the speed table lights down here and also on Church. I've given you guys a quote before with that. I believe I don't have a quote on hand, but it was $600 some for the battery ones. And the batteries were $7 a piece, requiring 8 batteries to operate everything. So it'd been average about $57 a month it would cost us for that. We can go with solar, which is only, I believe it was almost $200 some dollars. But those would only work in the evening, not during the day. And during winter time, it would be hard pressed to keep it charged, is what I was told by the lady to sell one. So if it's something we're interested in, if that's something you guys want to move forward with, just let me know. I can go ahead and do that. I don't think it matters. I don't think we have to have a vote on it or nothing. It's just.
Is there a pole nearby that we could draw some power off of?
I don't think so over there.
You'd have to put a separate meter in. The village would have to put a separate service and separate meter in. We don't have anything in either location.
Is there any way we can get the battery powered lights just to try? And then like the next time we need to replace the battery, maybe see if it makes sense to continue that?
If we would go, I thought about that. If we go both routes, we purchase the battery operated ones, see how they go for a year. If we don't want to continue that, we have the solar ones, or we can start out with the solar. We don't like that and say, hey, we're going to buy the batteries, but it's just going to be one of them two's going to be put on the shelf in the long run once we make the decision. So
Can the solar ones be repurposed elsewhere for?
I could probably use them on our barricade signs when we have water breaks.
That's kind of what I was
I
thinking
could use them
too.
for that. That would help.
So at least they're not sitting on a shelf.
Yeah,
But would the solar ones make sense doing that, or just the battery ones? So we can just make sure we have batteries on hand when we need it, in case it's winter months or whatever, and the sun's not charging them back up.
so you're saying put both on the signs, put the solar and?
No, I mean, if we go with one or the other, instead of solar, maybe go with the battery one, so we can not have to worry about if the sun's out or not, as far as charging the things back up.
Yeah, if you want them to be visible on the speed tables 24/7, day and night, then you go with the batteries. And it would cost us roughly $57 a month to replace the batteries on average. Wintertime could be harder on them because it's winter. And then use the solar ones for temporary for the barricades. If that's what you want to do. I mean,
No, I'm not saying go with both, I'm saying one or the other, like stick with the battery one for now, we can use them at the speed tables for a few months. And if we wanna just continue using those at speed tables.
Because of the cost or
we can use
whatever.
them for other
Yeah.
things.
I would definitely recommend for the speed tables to go with the battery operated ones. That would be my recommendation for the speed tables for sure.
Now, how much is, let's just talk about money again. How much per battery operated
your
sign
initial cost
to
on it-
operate annually? Yeah.
But I would say, right now, on top of my mind, I think it was $600 some odd for the complete set to get hooked up and ready to go for the battery ones. And
And that's
then,
just to set it up. Now,
yeah,
how
that's
much-
the batteries and everything for your first month. Now, the
Yeah.
following month, you'd have to add $57, next month, $57 to keep them operational, yes.
So annual operating cost would be in the neighborhood of $700
Yeah,
per light.
well, if you take, just say
57.
$60 a month,
Yeah.
60 times 12.
Yeah,
So,
$720.
yes, so about 700, roughly $700 a year
$700
to operate.
to operate each sign annually. How many signs?
No, that's total. That'll be
Okay.
all total.
Okay.
That's 8 batteries. We need 8 batteries at $7 a piece. That's $56.
Yeah.
So how many I'm sorry, you said this, how many batteries does it take per sign?
2, I believe.
Okay, so you're talking about getting 4 signs, 2 batteries apiece?
2 batteries for this side, 2 batteries for the opposite lane, 2 batteries up at church for one lane, 2 batteries for the opposite lane, so a total of 8.
Are these things kind of sitting on the ground? Are they up on a pedestal a little bit?
They'll be mounted to the sign itself up top.
Gotcha.
And I wouldn't put them at the speed table. I'd probably put them at the approaching speed table, like speed table ahead. I'd put it so it's flashing there.
I mean, I just feel, at least initially, a little bit of a more of a warning, even though there's signs and there's paint, stuff like that, but to see from a distance, like if you see a flashing sign up ahead,
That's gonna get your
you know
attention.
something's up there.
Like I said, they're
Right.
kind of invisible during the day because there's a shadow of the tree right on it.
To
So
finish your question about cost, and then the solar ones were around like, I believe, $280. Then those require no batteries, but you won't see them during the day more than likely. Winter months, you might not make it through the night, like I said. Just depends on the overcast for the day, the shorter day time period of sun.
You're saying you'd rather have the battery
Okay.
units?
Exact cost, $604. That includes the batteries, that includes barricade light, and includes the brackets.
Thanks.
604.
Okay.
And
So
that's
that, yeah, that's
roughly what I was saying, I was not exact numbers, 268 for the solar.
I mean, $600 for 4 lights and enough batteries, at least to get us through a month.
Yeah.
To see if that,
Now, if it don't, to your point, what we would have to do is we take that 604 that we put on our barricade lights, and then to your point, we use it as needed, replace batteries, keep cold batteries on the shelf. Because then wouldn't be operational 24/7,
right,
only when we need them.
as long as it can be repurposed, if it doesn't work out there, that's all I'm really concerned about.
I think the biggest one would be the one on Walnut as well, because that's the whole point, where somebody's coming down
Right.
at 30 and they're going straight there, then sometimes they may not.
I agree with you that that's probably one of the worst ones, but I would recommend doing them on both streets, just in case something would happen on other streets. Say, well, why you got flashing lights on this one and not the other one?
Yeah, that's my worry
Yeah.
and all that. Some of that telling council what to do. My worry is once you put those lights up, you're not going to take them down. Yeah, I don't think you.
Right.
Once they're up, they're going to say, well, you have. You obviously knew that there was something that warranted additional lights, signage. Why did you take it down now? I think that would make us more at risk.
Liability.
Liability. This is my personal opinion. Just usually I in my private sector side, I don't do things unless I'm willing to keep it there forever. Because once you do, it's like you're acknowledging, hey, there's something here that warrants additional lights or signage.
Henry, if you go with battery operator, do you have to change them every month?
I mean, if you get an extra couple days out of it, I'd do it until they went dead. I mean, you got to replace them, obviously, to keep them
The
working.
reason I'm asking is we have solar lights at our house, and as long as there's light, doesn't have to be direct sunlight, those solar lights are on. Not during the day, but at night. If you could do a combination where you could have battery during the day and somehow flip it off at night,
You'd have to go out and
The
take the
batteries would
batteries
last
physically
longer.
out of these. You'd have to go out and
Okay.
take the
okay, so that
But-
probably,
and you're probably totally right about the solar. Maybe the solar is the way to go, but the lady was recommending the other ones because she don't want to guarantee that them are going to last that long. She can't make guarantees with that.
and you're right, they won't show during the day.
Yeah. And then at night, she's worried that maybe there's a possibility that if you don't get enough sunlight or what have you, that it could
It
not
won't
work.
go
So
all
she
night,
don't want to
yeah.
guarantee us that when she was talking about this. I don't care what route you guys go. You just need to guide me in the right direction, what you want to do. And I'm good with whatever you want to do.
You wanna change batteries every month?
I'm okay with whatever you guys want. If that's what needs to be done, I'll do it. If it's not what you want to do, then we won't do it. I mean, it's up to you guys. I just thought it would be brought to the table again because we talked about it last time. We never really discussed it this deep, so.
I mean, what would it cost to make, like, I get where Dave's coming from too, like to make it permanent to where it's always there for as far as like an electric one or whatever.
I would say it's
I did.
$57 a month. You'd have to plan on spending that $57 every month. I would definitely plan on, to your point, like, because if it lasts longer, great, but there's always that possibility it isn't, so we might as well plan on spending that $57 a month.
Cause I mean, the speed tables ain't gonna go nowhere. They're gonna stay there. So that means the sign's gonna stay there.
I think that brings us back to some AC power somehow. Do you got any idea how much it would cost for that?
I've never even looked into it because there's no power close to there, so I never even, it probably costs a pretty I mean, Kurt's an electrician, he deals with that stuff all the time. I'd imagine he's got somewhat of a cost in mind. What do you think it would cost to get power ran down to each one of them?
Well, the big thing is do they even make an AC powered sign? They may not even make, that would be the first thing.
I could check
But
into
you're
it.
probably talking $1,500 to $2,000 just to set like a temporary power pole. Then you're looking at a monthly bill of probably minimum $40 a month, $50 a month.
So that takes you back to, you might as well spend $57 a month on the batteries.
And we could just keep discussing it more, I guess. I mean, we could get two council members that aren't here, I guess. I see Mayor's point about if we put them up, it's gonna be difficult to remove them at that point. I was just thinking at least temporary, but I get it. Something we may not wanna
Take down.
discontinue if we started, we wanna keep it there.
Henry, did you come up with any numbers for the guardrail idea that we talked about
No,
earlier?
I didn't even get into that. Nope.
Because it occurs to me that if we put a guardrail up, number one, it's permanent. Number two, if we put reflector tape on it, like what you have on barricades and stuff, any light is gonna show off of that, so.
Because now you gotta take into consideration, there's a lot of people that park around that area on the side of the road also, so it's gonna take away their parking. Just for residents, especially there on the right, there's like 4 vehicles that park down that on the right side there.
It's all, well, it only have to be so far on each side of the table. We don't have to run the whole road.
No, it's right by the tables where they park. If you go down and look at it on the south side of Walnut, there's about 4 cars that park along there right by it.
Well,
Bob, I have a good point about reflector tape too. These signs that are posted, I mean, I don't recall seeing
They're reflective signs.
other
There's-
signs themselves.
Yes.
unless there's headlights or something shining on them, it's not
Yeah.
gonna reflect anything.
I mean, if it's a concern of council's, my recommendation would be doing the battery ones. But to Dave's point, when they're there, plan on spending $57 a month every month. We might pull a couple extra days or weeks out of it, who knows? Wintertime might be less. That's just a general cost.
Yeah, I just want to point out, I'm not telling council not to do it. I just want to make sure we're all the mindset that I would not recommend taking them out once you put them in.
I would agree with that.
And the other thing I'm thinking is basically how bright these lights are. I mean, there's residential homes right there as well. So I mean, I
Another
don't
good
necessarily
point.
want to see a flashing light outside my window either all night long.
They make blinds every day.
I mean, if you want to further discuss it, that's fine. I just thought it would be worth bringing back to the table again. I did revisit after that accident to make sure with the people that installed them, that meets their criteria that they've done on other speed tables. I didn't get no signature from or nothing, but they have installed them in Canton and elsewhere. So they know the criteria that's supposed to be met, and they said that they met that criteria. I didn't get no signatures or nothing, but they have said it met criteria, so.
It's just important to know when you take it up for discussion again on if you want to table it till next meeting or whatnot, but we are looking at hopefully being able to budget for maybe 1 to 2 more next year. So
Whatever
early
we do to
discussions
one,
on
we
that,
gotta
we're not
do
saying
the
we did
other.
budget for it. We have to work with Kurt and others to see if the money's there, but what you do for one, you have to plan on doing it for all.
Yeah,
Just
it might be better to wait till we get all the ones in that we're gonna be putting in and then see how it rolls. It might be just that one table that, is the bad one, basically, the one that. people
My belief though is
most.
once you set something up with one table, whether it be signage, lights or whatever, every speed table needs to be equal on what you do with it. Because anything can happen on any speed table. I mean, I just hate to be the one that has to sign the check for one that didn't have the lights and one did have the lights. And then somebody says, well, why didn't you have them on this one?
I always hated getting stuck in liability paralysis where you're too afraid to do things and so you do nothing.
In all honesty, we've done our due diligence. The signs and everything are significant. Now, do we want extra? That is something that,
At some
You guys
point,
can
the
decide.
residents or the people that use the streets gonna have to just get their eyes off their phones and pay attention where they're going.
this is an extra precautionary that I've brought up to you guys before. I just wanted to re-bring it to you, that's all.
They make lights that come on when they see motion in front of them. It triggers the lights. to
You're
come on.
talking the whole system. I don't know how deep you guys want to get into it. They also make signs that have lights, LED lights around them that come on with solar. Like similar to the speed sign on Noble. So, I mean, they make them where the lights come on around it, that light up. Now, that consists of buying a whole new sign again, but I think when we first did this, we were all in agreement that the signage would have been enough, but after seeing incidents and things like that, we all worry about making sure that everybody's safe when they cross them. But I honestly think there's due diligence we did on them, and they should just honor the speed limit. But if we want extra, I'm all for it. It's fine with me.
Both of them work. And that's all that we need. Add more later.
I guess we want to table that then.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
table, man.
Just to touch on the grant process, like the meeting we had with Mr. Kishman prior to here, and thank him for coming and talking with us, he's gonna get back to us on several different things. Mr. Blue for his due diligence that he's been doing on that, keeping on it, keeping on me to stay on it. Let's hope it works out. Let's cross our fingers. That would help a lot. Other than that, that's all I have. If you have any more questions?
Thanks, Henry. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Takes us to safety, chief.
Right. Past 2 weeks, we've had 89 calls for service. Also had some quality of life complaints from some of the residents, too specifically. So we've had to do some sort of directed patrols. Feedback I'm getting from them is that the issues have kind of started to resolve themselves. So we're going to keep on doing that for a little while moving forward. Partnered with the U.S. Marshal Service, Violent Fugitive Task Force. Sergeant Crouch has been appointed to that position, so he will be working with them. Benefit to the village is that they will assist us now with going after warrants if we have them, and we assist them with what they need. The evidence room we have been working on. We've been able to purge a lot of just regular property that had been accumulated over the years that was just lost and found, things like that. So that property has been purged with the assistance of the service department. Applied for the body worn camera grant. I'm not sure if we'll get it, but we applied for 10 GTEC cameras. The grant also pays for cloud service. So I should know sometime end of the year, beginning of next year, whether or not we've been approved for that. We've got our trunk or treat coming up on Saturday. It's going to be from 5 to 7. It's going to be at Worley Park. If there's inclement weather, we may end up having to reschedule it for a different date. But as of right now, it's going to be this Saturday. The new cruiser is moving along pretty much on schedule. So we got mock-ups of the graphics package for it. And there were a few changes that we needed to make, but we're still looking at probably time frame by the end of the month, early next month. We should be able to pick that up. It should be completed for us. Last checked with Trevor and speed cameras. Obviously, like we discussed before, we're delayed, but those are still moving along for a December install date. Right now, officers are working on their CPT hours required by the state. We've got 24 hours that are due this month. By the end of the month, all of the officers will have completed 16 of the 24. They should be completing the last 8 by the beginning of December. And that is all I have right now.
Is there anything on the Vicky getting decommissioned?
Not yet, but that's kind of in my purview. I don't know that we're going to completely decommission her. My intent, I think, is after looking at what the value of both that and the Tahoe would bring, if we were just to outright sell them, the department may have some specialized uses for them, take to trainings and things like that. So I don't know that we're going to decommission anything outright. I'm still kind of looking at that, but that's kind of where we're at. I'm leaning more towards just at least keeping the Crown Vic for training purposes and things like that, so we don't have to pull a car out of service when we send officers.
Also be good for like the parades, rerouting.
Yep.
Side note, while we're on safety, I just want to thank Chief and his department. My son plays on the JV youth program football, and he was more than willing to escort our kiddos out of town here for their championship game Saturday. We lost, but it's good to feed back to the community.
Yeah, it's our pleasure for doing it. Anything we can do to support the teams.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief.
All right, there is nothing on the agenda for judicial. Anything council wants to discuss as far as judicial that isn't already defined? All right. We already touched on grants. Anything you want to add on grants?
Yes, during a work session, Councilman Buxton and I were talking about sidewalks and how we have a number of them that need to be replaced. I approached Donna after we were done here and asked her in her surfings about the internet if she comes across any grants that provide for replacement of sidewalks to let us know so that we might be able to take advantage of it. I know many of the sidewalks here are the same ones that were here when I was a child running around.
Whatever.
So if we can get those replaced, she also suggested we might be able to do disabled handicap ramps at the intersections, kind of like what we got uptown here. Because we're doing that, there may be funding available for that. And so she said there might be some state funds that would be more readily available than federal funds for that. So between her looking for there and I will also look myself, we will see if we can't get us something nice to walk on. Something that our more elderly citizens will have an easier time with.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was thinking more of not just replacing or repairing what we have, but it would be nice to have like a continued loop, go around this block or whatever. And I know the issue with that is sometimes would be who maintains that property owner, things like that. And then again, you're taking up somebody's yard partly as well by putting in that sidewalk too. So I know there's some other things that we to think about. It would be nice to have some additional sidewalks too. Sometimes they're just hit or miss.
Right. Well, like on my place, I got the really nice one on Nassau Street, and I take good care of that. But if you go down Market Street, sidewalk stops at one point, and then there's brick, and then there's a chunk of asphalt, and then there's more brick. So, as hard as I try, you can't, dress that up. So,
But it's not, it's the homeowner's
Yeah.
responsibility.
That's one thing to keep in mind. Even if you do like a program like this where you get the state to, you're going to have some kind of program where you hold the accountability on the homeowner to maintain, because you don't want to put something in and then it not get maintained, and then who's going to manage that? Just something to keep in mind.
well, are there ordinances already in effect for that?
State law
Yeah.
dictates it.
The reason I want to make sure that it's perfectly clear, so we have a church in Mount Tabor.
Yeah.
They had just redone their sidewalk, the whole in
Yeah.
front with concrete. They paid for that out of their own pocket because that was called a mass that they could do concrete or asphalt. I didn't mind concrete or asphalt, and I told them that it's your job to replace them and maintain them anyways. I would just ask that you didn't make it any wider and infringe upon the roadway and keep it within the curb. So with that being said, I want to see grants for sidewalks too, because there is a lot, but I would go after the downtown area and maybe try to get the sidewalks redone down there. But to Dave's point, we got to make sure that they're understanding that from that point on, they have to maintain it, because if something would happen to that concrete,
Right.
broke up or what have you, they got to maintain it.
Yeah.
As far as even snow removal and everything, they got to maintain it.
Well, I understand the snow removal and leaf removal and things like that, but like across Nassau, where Market heads south, there's sidewalks there that are like on a 30-degree angle, and chunks are missing and things like that. And if it's those homeowners' responsibility to fix that, then does that fall within our zoning purview to have them take care of that, or do we do
Yeah.
that?
Absolutely.
And
It
charge
sure, it
them?
sure
It
is.
is, it's the
Correct. There's some
homeowner's
in front of the church
responsibility.
also, right by the hydrant, if you look, the Church of God,
Mhm.
it's lifting up around our valve box, and it's probably about that high above our valve box. So my plan is I've been charting sidewalks around that I feel are unsafe, but you have to be careful with that too. What I feel unsafe and what you may feel is unsafe in front of your house before you invest $3,000 in your sidewalk
Yeah.
is different. So it becomes a debate at that point, but when they're severely bad, I believe
Like
it's.
the ones on Market are severely
Yeah,
bad.
there's-
There's no,
Yes, when they get
getting
so
around
bad,
that.
yes, I will be taking care of that. I've written several down already.
I think
Okay.
you can make a criteria, Henry. Take the whole I think just
Yeah.
have a criteria where it has to have a
Level
certain
surface.
characteristics to make, I'm sure that's already defined with the state. But I think as long as you're consistent and the criteria is known and everyone plays by the same rules, I mean, I think it's okay. It's where you get into the he thinks, she thinks, where
Really,
The homeowner can apply for the grant.
Right.
I mean, if there's a grant out there for it, let the homeowner know that, hey, there's a grant available to help you replace your sidewalk.
I thought every adult, it's kind of a given, when you buy a house, that
If there's a
sidewalk is your
sidewalk, that's
responsibility.
yours. Yeah.
And I would suggest, if you're writing a grant for sidewalks, you should include it with the water lines, because you need sidewalks on Noble.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you driven down that road and people are pushing baby buggies or walking a dog
Yeah, Noble's
in the street?
Noble's a big one, yeah, I agree.
And most of the other
Yeah.
big parts of the city already
Yeah.
has sidewalks.
The
Yeah.
homeowner should have
Noble, those are all the
a
people's.
portion of it.
those are
I'm
all-
sorry?
Noble, those are all people's, they're in their
That's their
yards.
yard.
That's their
It's all
yard.
their responsibility.
That's
That's
their responsibility.
But a lot of
Everybody
Noble
said.
doesn't have sidewalks.
Right.
Yeah,
That's-
it's only like a
Yeah.
block in or something like
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah,
it
it goes
stops.
up through from what.
Yeah, like Bernowski, I think, is right after that, it stops.
Yeah.
It's not when this council was on here, but when we looked out on East Nassau, the kids loved it because the sidewalk came up from the tree and they rode their Hot Wheels with their big wheels over it. We fixed that sidewalk.
Right.
2 years later, they came through and ripped all those trees out and ripped that sidewalk up, and we had to replace it again. And it was just a given. There was no choice.
Yeah, I do feel for some of the homeowners, because some of these sidewalks have been in disrepair for many, many years, right? So some of these homeowners are new. They buy the house with a sidewalk like that. But you're right, it should be common knowledge that the sidewalk's the homeowner's responsibility. I think I would just encourage that we handle it with a little tact, and I would say I wouldn't, when we approach, say, hey, this needs fixed tomorrow, but maybe we set some reasonable timelines, and say, like, this is a program that we're putting in place. We're gonna be following existing law. We wanna give you a heads up. In 2026, you have to budget for getting this done because by,
Look into that
this
too, because I think you might be able to just tear them out and make it part of your yard. You don't have to have that sidewalk there. I'd have to look into it,
yeah,
because that's been brought up when I speak to people about, well, I'll just tear the dang thing out. I
yeah,
don't need the sidewalk anyways. I'll make it part of my yard.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'll have to look into that. So the sidewalks, I have been, like I said, noting things that need to be done, but there's a lot of questions that I gotta get nailed down before I.
I actually unearthed part of my sidewalk just so that people had a nice place to
Yeah.
walk there.
Check with the post office too, if the mailman can't get through because of snow, they don't have to deliver mail.
yeah, I think that's something we have to look at is that, yeah, it could be the homeowner's property, right? But I think there's some, give for the village and municipality to say, look, we need sidewalks in these areas.
Correct.
And for the public good, we know that the general public's gonna be walking in this area. For their safety, we require sidewalks here.
You
I
would
think-
think it'd be easier for them because that's just that much less they gotta mow.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I think it's just one of those things that we have to handle with tact and
Correct.
consistency, because otherwise there could be a lot of hurt feelings about it.
Yeah, because it's, to your point you just made earlier, when people buy homes and it's in disarray.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big cost. You just buy a house and you gotta, knock on your door and tell you gotta fix something that's been there for years. If the answer is tearing it out and making it level ground and grass, I mean, like I said, I got things to look into. I gotta make it a level playing field, like you said, consistent across the board.
Has to be consistent.
We're not right there right now, so I'm not willing to knock on doors. When I find out all the rules and everything nailed down, then we'll talk about it. I'll talk to the homeowner about it.
That sounds like a good way to go.
But I am on it, for sure. I've been on it.
Okay. That's it for grants.
Very good. Takes us to finance.
Finance, like make a motion to approve invoices in the amount of $45,108.91. As presented by Fiscal Officer Geis.
Second.
Roll call, Blue,
Yes.
Van,
Yes.
Amstutz, Dawson.
Yeah.
These guys got me all messed up.
Also like to make a motion to approve payroll in the amount of $19,193.30.
Second.
Roll call, Blue.
Yep.
Van,
Yes.
Amstutz, Dawson.
And then finally, I'd like to make a motion to approve the September 2025 bank reconciliation as well. And I'll pass that one around for signatures.
Second.
Roll call, Blue.
Yep.
Van,
Yes.
Amstutz, Dawson.
Yeah.
In the meeting agenda, the permanent appropriations report was attached through the 22nd. Anything else for finance?
Finance, no.
Takes us to other. Anything for other?
I do want to request a short executive session. Hiring, firing.
Second.
G1 appointment, right? All right.
This can be just council.
Very good. So we have a motion by Buxton, a second by Amstutz. Request council. All right, standing motion. Blue.
Yep.
Van.
Yes.
Amstutz. Buxton.
Okay.
Go into executive at 7:35. Any official business after?
No, I don't have one.
Very good.
Just council.
Discount.
All right, back to active session.
I don't have anything else.
I don't have anything else.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Roll call, Blue.
Yeah.
Van,
yes.
Amstutz, Buck.
Where you been?
Oh, 8 weeks ago I was sick. 6 weeks ago